Hi, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? What about in the back? Good? Awesome. Hi, my name is Alex Lee. I'm a program manager in the Microsoft Security and Compliance team, and today I'm really excited to talk to you guys about what's new with Microsoft 365 Security and Compliance Center. So show of hands, how many of you guys have attended some of Rob and Brad's sessions over the last day or so at Ignite talking about Microsoft 365? You guys excited about it? Who's excited to see the new admin experiences around security and compliance? So today, and again, thanks for joining me today. I know it's a hallway, but if you guys can come in closer, there's a screen here and there's also one in the back for you guys to take a look at all the cool new experience we'll be showing you. So let's get started then. So one of the things I just want to level set a bit is we've talked a lot about the new admin experiences, about security compliance, but the way that we think about it at Microsoft is security and compliance are two sides of the same coin. And what I mean by that is with your security and compliance centers, we understand that a lot of organizations have security admins and compliance admins that need to go about and do their daily regulatory and security needs. What we've really kind of heard from you guys is you guys need dedicated and specialized workspaces for all of these different personas. And the way we thought about it is with the compliance personas, what they need to do is really, as you guys from your customers and what we've heard is, you guys really need to assess, protect, and be able to respond to your compliance regulations and risks and needs. And the way we think about that and what that means is when you come in as a compliance officer or a data admin, you really need to understand what is the compliance within your organization. How do you assess that? What do you have to turn on? And we heard a lot of feedback that oftentimes, compliance is, it's hard to wrap your mind around what needs to be turned on. And so one of the things we've done, as I'll show you in the demo shortly, is we've done a lot of work to make it easier, to provide you insights and recommendations, and also give you a simple checklist to say, here are the couple of things you should turn on to be compliant and start off. In terms of protect, we also allow you to configure your settings around what data should you retain, what data should you not retain, when do you want to delete this. We have ability to do e-discovery, label analytics, which I'll demo shortly. And lastly, around respond. Now that you fully understand the compliance needs of your organization from the assess and protect, what happens next? What happens when you go through an audit? How do you find that information? So again, we'll be demoing that shortly. From the compliance side, from the security side, as I said, security management, we see that as the other side of the coin. And what we understand are security, basically your your security admins and security operator personas we see is they need to understand the visibility and be able to control the data within your organization and provide guidance. So just to kind of summarize that a little bit more about that is, from the security side, there are so many signals that we have within the system. One of the things that Satya talked about yesterday in his keynote was 6.5 trillion security signals is kind of what we analyze within Microsoft. How does the security admins and security operators within your organization begin to understand what that means from a visibility, control, and guidance perspective? I'll actually be demoing our new Microsoft 365 Security Center, and we'll take a look at what that means for Secure Score, how can you easily turn on the security. In Rob's session yesterday, he talked a lot about, there's a very simple couple of things that you should do to greatly increase the security within your organization. And of course, not only do we allow you to have visibility and control, we also provide guidance around next steps, the insights around some of that. I'm going to go through, since we have about 20 minutes, the demo is pretty fast. We do have additional sessions because this is a theater to go more in depth. So I will ask for folks to hold their questions until afterwards. So how many of you guys have seen the new Microsoft 365 compliance being talked about in a lot of the different demos and screens? Awesome. Biggest difference in this one is I will actually be doing a live demo. So if there's any issues, this is live working code. So the first thing you see when we come to the compliance center is, what do you guys expect the URL to be for compliance? Today we have a lot of convoluted URLs, and oftentimes you hear people saying it's hard to find. So we've really taken that feedback, and one of the biggest things is if you look at the top, it says compliance.microsoft.com. Of course, this is coming. This is not live yet, but we'll be going into preview with this in the next couple of months. But we've really greatly simplified the fact that now you only have to remember two things. If you're compliance, you go to compliance.microsoft.com. If you're security, you go to security.microsoft.com. And these are specialized workspaces that can be customized to your particular user. And what I mean by that is you have edit sections and being able to add cards at the top, which is also, I'm not going to be demoing it, but there is actually a session about the admin centers. I believe it's later today that will go in depth around how you can configure things, customize it to basically make the security and compliance centers for Microsoft 365 based off of your requirements and needs. So let's take a look at this. The first thing you'll see here is we have a welcome to Microsoft 365 first run experience. This is to show you the value that we've added around Compliance Manager, around being able to easily classify, retain, and protect your labels, and also being able to monitor. Now let's click through this and say, okay, I got it. What do we see here? So once I've done that, we actually see that we now have a recommendation. So this is very much in line with the insights that we provide your system. And what we've actually done here is we've taken a look at the compliance within your organization. So this is actually a custom recommendation for my particular organization. And what it says is, I should really be classifying and retaining my GDPR information. Though we have a ton of different recommendations, this is just one of the examples I have within my tenancy. If I go in and click this recommendation, I can actually see that, my recommendation from Microsoft is to classify and retain my GDPR information. So how many of you guys think this would be helpful for you? Very simple, right? Yes, GDPR is very complex, but we've tried to simplify this as much as possible for you guys as the customers to be able to fully understand. Now I can go ahead and publish this to auto-apply or cancel or also go to customize. We understand that we start off with these recommendations and templates, but each company is very different, so you're able to go in and also customize. And I'll actually show you the creation of a new label policy later. So I'm going to exit out of this. The next thing you see is just like how I talked about the assess, protect, and respond, we've laid out the compliance center to also kind of pivot around those three aspects. So in the first section around assess, you see that I have the ability to have a compliance manager. And what's new about the compliance manager is you guys may seen this inside of the Service Trust Center. We've actually brought this in now fully into the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center. You're easily able to understand the compliance regulations and the compliance risks within your system. The next thing is, how many of you guys, a lot of times you get feedback that it's really hard to get started. What are the 1, 2, 3, 5 steps we have to take to understand what we need to turn on for compliance? Well, we've really done a lot of work to kind of help with that around the compliance checklist. So what this now enables is we have a list of settings that we believe you should turn on. The first one I'm just going to click into real fast is to go ahead and create your retention policy to retain your organization's content. And this is one very simple way and one of the first things we, from a compliance aspect, ask companies to take a look at. One of the other things is now that we have a Microsoft 365 story, it's not just about cloud data, right? If you notice here, we also have information around non-compliant apps and users. So now with Microsoft 365, we've combined not just Office 365 service data, we also have information around apps, information around users. And if you look from a respond perspective and protect perspective, we also start summarizing all the data around compliance within your organization, not just for one particular workload. So it is really becoming a combined experience where you have one place to go to understand the compliance within your organization. I'm going to quickly go through this and probably won't click through it very much, but here you have the ability to understand what labels were applied within your system. What are the risky privileged apps? How many of you guys are familiar with DLP in Office 365? Okay, a good majority of you guys. So here we have the ability to understand, what policy matches are occurring in your system. And not only that, but what are also the third-party policy matches, which has never been done before. This is all net new. And then from a respond perspective, we can understand what are the active cases, active alerts, and also what are some disposition reviews that are pending that you guys are looking to do. So I'm going to go up here, and one of the things I'm going to go to is from the protect, I'm actually going to go manage labels. One of the things I talked about is not only do we allow recommendations, we also, of course, allow you to customize and create new labels. What I'm actually going to do is just create a new label. I'm just going to call it Ignite Demo. And for retention, so this is very, very powerful. Through a couple easy clicks, I'm actually able to specify for the data that gets this particular label that I called Ignite, right? That I can decide whether or not, how long to retain it, when to delete it. This is all now natively integrated into the Microsoft 365 compliance console and the experience. And I can also, go through a lot of these settings. I can say don't retain. I can, say maybe not 7 years, 5 years. So you get all that flexibility that you guys are probably familiar with from the existing retention features. I'm going to hit next, and just very easily I can go ahead and create that label. What that means is once someone goes and applies that label, the content will now be retained for what was configured within my system. So I'm going to actually cancel out of that. And what I'm actually going to look at now is a GDPR label I've created previously. So how many of you guys have a hard time understanding after you've created a label and you've started protecting your compliance information, what's going on with my data? Like how is it being applied? What analytics is there? We've heard a lot of feedback from you guys around being able to very simply understand that. So what we've done is we've actually created something called Label Analytics. And if you click on Explore Items, now I can very easily see from just a straight click through, right? For my GDPR label that I created previously, now I'm able to understand what items appeared with this label. Not only the items, but like what's newly been added, how it's been applied in the different applications, and also if there's any pending dispositions with this particular label. So for the GDPR label that I set up, I previously configured dispositions, which is why it's shown here. One of the new things we've also been announcing, I don't know how many of you guys have heard, there is another session on that later this afternoon around Microsoft 365 unified labels. And what that means is today, not only are you able to create labels that do security and compliance, they're now unified. So you can create a single set of labels and apply both retention and security aspects to that. So if I go back to, and I'll show what that means. So one of the things I showed was inside of the labels, I had retention. Now inside of my security center, which I've come to very fast just to show you guys, you can see that I also have sensitivity labels. And if you take a look, sensitivity labels and retention labels are now living side by side, which basically means that you can apply them seamlessly. And so for this particular demo, I've set up the ability to have public, general, confidential, highly confidential sensitivity labels within my system. For the purpose of this demo, since we have about 7 minutes left, I'm not going to go through in-depth the sensitivity labels. There is actually an in-depth session, a 45-minute session later today that talks about these labels. What I am going to do is come to the Microsoft 365 Security Center and show you the new pieces that we've done in here. So how many of you guys have seen this? This has also been mentioned a lot inside of Rob, Brad, Rudy sessions. So this is all brand new, right? Very similar. You see that there's a coherent look and feel across Microsoft 365 security and compliance. We've done a lot of work to start basically making the coherent and native experiences across all our different admin centers. So one of the first things here is, from a security perspective, we really pivoted on being able to show you at a very clear glance what your security risks are within your organization. So if you take a look here, we have something called Secure Score. How many of you guys know about Secure Score or Microsoft Secure Score? Okay, a lot of you guys. Well, what's different here is this new Microsoft Secure Score actually starts combining the different categories beyond just Office 365. Now we have identity, data, devices, apps, and infrastructure as well. So this is net new functionality where we're actually able to add up the different secure scores across all these different categories and give you a combined secure score. This is why they've certain sessions have mentioned, as we continue increasing the different categories, applications, and workloads with secure score, you will see these numbers start to increase. So what I have in my demo right now, of course, is just for my tenancy. You guys, if you go to securescore.microsoft.com, may see a different score. In addition to that, we have the ability to see identity protection, again, data loss prevention, because that is an important piece to the security operator and security admin as well. You're also able to see device compliance, device malware protections, and authenticated apps, all within one console now. And of course, who cares about alerts within their security? Of course, everyone, right? That's why, if you notice, we really pivoted and customized the different centers. Here inside of the security center, because alerts is so important to users, we've actually made this very, very prominent and included a lot more information than from the compliance side. This is why these different centers are now customized to each different personas. So for the sake of the demo, since we have another 4 minutes left, I'm actually going to go through and click on the secure score. So if folks have attended Rob's sessions, one of the biggest things we've asked is to really turn on MFA, and that's actually what I'm going to demo. Some of the interesting stats we have is by turning on Secure Score, Microsoft Secure Score, you're actually able to increase your security by 30 times. That's huge by doing a couple of simple steps. And by turning on MFA, you're actually able to increase your security by 99.9%, some of the data that we've been sharing with customers. So if I go here, what I can see is that now I'm very easily able to configure MFA in actually 2 clicks. And I see here that by enabling MFA, I'm actually able to increase my secure score by 50 points. How many of you guys have had trouble finding out, where does MFA go? How do I configure it? What console, what center do I configure it in? Now we do this seamlessly. If I hit take action, I will seamlessly be taken to the Azure portal where I will be able to see, once this loads, I'll be able to see the policy and setting I need to go turn on, and very easily within another click, I'm able to turn on my baseline policy that requires MFA. So this is how easy it is. Literally, you guys saw me, it was 2 clicks. And this is the easiest way to go protect and become secure within your organization. So we have 2 minutes left, so I'm going to open it up for questions now. Yes.
Secure Score included devices. Does that require an Intune subscription, or is that tied somehow into System Center?
So the question was, now that we've included applications, does it require Intune?
Not applications, devices.
Devices. Yes.
All right, yeah. I'm going to borrow your mic then. So I'm AJ Smith. I'm the product manager for Secure Score. So with the addition of devices, the device information actually comes from Windows Defender ATP, and the MDM information comes from either Office 365 MDM or Intune. So depending on which MDM solution you're using, we'll pull the telemetry from either one of those. You need to have an MDM solution, either Office 365's MDM solution, which is in box, or Intune. Depending on whichever one you're using, we get telemetry from both. Not System Center. So the question is, if I'm not using a Microsoft MFA solution, can I get points in Secure Score? The answer is yes. There is a button in the bottom. We can load that back up. Oh, got a mouse. There's an option says resolve through third party. So if you use another solution, just click resolve through third party, and you get the points. It's the honor system. We obviously won't know what you're doing, but we have to trust you.
I think we have one more question.
Secure Score can be run by, you have to be some sort of security admin. You can't be like a normal user. So you can be a security admin, you can be Exchange admin, you can be global admin, but you must be some sort of admin to get into the tenant, right, to get any info.
Someone with security permissions, yes. We're at time. I think we will take questions off the side. For those who ask questions, I have some swag for you, so feel free to come up and grab it.